Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin was born on October 7, 1952, in Leningrad, now St. Petersburg. Petersburg, Russia. His early years were marked by the struggles of a post-war Soviet Union. His parents, Maria and Vladimir Putin Sr., survived the brutal siege of Leningrad, an experience that left an indelible mark on the family. Putin grew up in a communal apartment shared by multiple families, a humble beginning for the man who would later dominate Russian politics and global headlines. As a child, Putin was small and often bullied. Determined to assert himself, he took up martial arts, becoming proficient in judo and sambo. These skills gave him confidence and shaped his strategic thinking, qualities that would define his life. From a young age, he was fascinated by espionage, inspired by Soviet spy films. This passion led him to join the KGB after graduating from Leningrad State University with a law degree in 1975. Putin's KGB career took him to East Germany during the Cold War, where he worked in intelligence and witnessed the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989. The collapse of the Soviet Union shortly thereafter was a deeply personal blow to Putin, who later called it the greatest geopolitical catastrophe of the 20th century. His time in the KGB ended in 1991, but the skills he honed there, particularly in manipulation and strategy, would prove invaluable in his political career. Returning to St. Petersburg, Putin became an aide to Anatoly Sobchak, the city's reformist mayor. This role introduced him to politics and powerful networks. By the mid-1990s, Putin moved to Moscow, where his efficiency and loyalty earned him rapid promotions. In 1998, he was appointed director of the Federal Security Service (FSB), the successor to the KGB. By 1999, he was named Prime Minister by Boris Yeltsin, and when Yeltsin unexpectedly resigned on December 31, 1999, Putin became acting president. As president, Putin quickly consolidated power, restoring state control over key industries and reining in oligarchs who had amassed wealth and influence during the chaotic 1990s. His early years were marked by military campaigns, including the Second Chechen War, which he framed as necessary for national security. At home, he built a power vertical system, centralizing authority and reducing regional autonomy. Internationally, Putin has pursued a vision of a strong and independent Russia, often at odds with Western policies. His leadership saw conflicts with NATO over issues such as missile defense systems and the expansion of the alliance into Eastern Europe. The 2008 war in Georgia and the annexation of Crimea in 2014 were pivotal moments that demonstrated his willingness to challenge Western influence. The ongoing conflict in Ukraine, which began in 2022, has been one of the defining moments of his career. From Russia's perspective, this is a defensive operation against NATO's expansion, which Moscow views as a direct threat to its security. Putin has argued that Ukraine's increasing alignment with NATO was the final provocation, framing the war as necessary to protect Russian-speaking populations in eastern Ukraine and to resist Western hegemony. While the Western world and NATO have imposed heavy sanctions and sought what they term a strategic defeat for Russia, much of the global South, including countries like China, India, and Brazil, has maintained or even strengthened ties with Moscow. These nations, representing a significant portion of the world's population, view the conflict as a reaction to NATO's overreach rather than unprovoked aggression. Putin's personal life remains a subject of intrigue and speculation. Married to Lyudmila Shkrebneva in 1983, the couple had two daughters, Maria and Katerina, who have stayed largely out of the public eye. The marriage ended in divorce in 2014, and rumors persist about a long-term relationship with Olympic gymnast Alina Kabaeva, though Putin rarely discusses his private life. His carefully curated public image includes shirtless horseback rides and scuba diving stunts, designed to portray him as a virile and fearless leader. Critics, however, argue that these displays mask a more repressive regime, characterized by crackdowns on dissent and political opposition. Domestically, Putin has solidified his grip on power through constitutional changes, allowing him to remain president until 2036. Internationally, he has framed Russia's actions as a defense against Western encroachment, garnering support from nations critical of NATO and Western dominance. Vladimir Putin's story is one of resilience, ambition, and controversy. From his humble beginnings in a communal apartment to his role as one of the world's most powerful and polarizing figures, his life reflects the complexities of modern Russia. Loved by some for restoring Russia's global influence and reviled by others for his authoritarian tactics, Putin's legacy is still being written. As he continues to shape Russia's future, the world watches, divided in opinion but united in attention.